So good morning, we'll start. We'll continue our discussion on viscous flow through circular pipes. So in the last class, I told you about the Reynolds number to identify whether the flow is laminar or turbulent. So Reynolds number is given by the expression rho v d by mu for a pipe flow. Even otherwise, Reynolds number is rho v L by mu, where L is the characteristic length. And in the case of pipe flow, the characteristic length is the diameter. So that's how it is rho v d by mu. Essentially, Reynolds number is the ratio of inertia force to viscous force acting on the fluid. For laminar flow through circular pipes, we can have Reynolds number less than 2000. That means whenever Reynolds number is less than 2000, flow through the pipe is purely laminar. So for such low Reynolds number cases, so we will consider some important equations for solving practical problems. So consider a circular pipe like this. Symbolically, it can be represented like this. So this is a flow direction from left to right. And the radius of the pipe is capital R and diameter capital D. The circular cross section is shown over here. During the flow, during this viscous flow through the circular pipe, now we are going to consider a fluid element and the forces acting on that element. So we will try to analyze and set up an equation to represent the flow. The basic relationship for the velocity of flow and its variation across a cross section is what we are aiming at. Okay, and also the pressure gradient and such things. I mean, I will tell you as the derivation progresses. Please concentrate on it carefully. See, only then you will be able to understand it fully. Okay, so this is the context. Now what I'm going to do is consider a fluid element like this. So we'll consider a cylindrical fluid element. And if you draw the side view of it, side view of the fluid element, then in the cross section, you can have a circle. That's all. Okay, in the cross section of the pipe, here you can show a circle to represent the end view of the fluid element along the flow x direction. So the coordinates directions are represented like this. And at the center line, the radius is 0. And on the pipe wall, so we have the full radius. And for the fluid element, the radius is small r. So pressure force on the left face, pressure force on the right face. So what is that? Pressure, let the pressure on the left side be P. Okay. Then the area of the element. So the area, let's say, let me tell you dA. Later on, you can write it since it is a circular one. It is pi r square. So you can write like that also. Doesn't matter. So P into, let's say it is dA. Let me write dA for time being. And on the right side, you know, that will be incremented. Let the element length be dx. Okay. Then it is pressure gradient will be then after the length dx, it will be dou p by dou x into dx. Okay. And then this is a pressure. Then multiplied by area. Area, let it be dA. So for the fluid element, dimensions will be what is that? Radius is small r. Then its length is dx and cylindrical in shape. Okay, cylindrical. Okay, now what are the forces acting on the element? The pressure forces we have considered. The pressure forces acting on the left face and the right face I have considered. Now on the curved face, you know, on the curved face, so since it is in the fluid, due to the viscosity of the fluid, viscous resistance will be acting actually surrounding fluid. Basically, this is not a solid body. What we are considering is a cylindrical fluid element only. Surrounding fluid will be due to its viscosity exerting shear resistance on the surface of this fluid element we considered. Okay, so that the surrounding fluid element, when it exerts that shear resistance, so we can quantify this as shear stress multiplied by area. Shear stress tau multiplied by area. Shear stress is tau multiplied by what area? So the area is the curved surface. Area of the curved surface of the cylinder. Curved surface area. Okay. For shearing, you consider the shearing area. I mean, for the shear stress, you consider the shearing area. So curved surface is the shearing surface. So therefore, curved surface area is the shearing area. Okay, shearing area of the element. So what I want is the shearing area. We have to multiply with shear stress in order to get the viscous resistance. So shearing area is, what is that? 2 pi. See, basically for a cylinder, it is 2 pi RL is the curved surface area, base circumference into the length or height. Okay, so 2 pi RL or pi dl. So 2 pi r the into length. What is the length here? Length is dx. So 2 pi r dx is the area. So tau multiplied by 2 pi r dx. See, don't get confused. 2 pi r dx is the curved surface area of this small cylindrical fluid element we considered, over which the shear stress act. So now there are three forces. So pressure force on the left face and right face, and the viscous resistance. Since it is, we are considering horizontal pipe and horizontal fluid element, it is not influenced by gravity. The weight of the fluid element is not acting in the horizontal direction. So I want to make a force analysis in the x direction, side face and right side face. Left side face is P into pi r squared, right side face is this force, and then one more. So this is 1, this is 2. The pressure forces acting on the left and right faces of the element. Then the third one is the viscous resistance. Okay, shear resistance, or what do you call viscous resistance. So viscous resistance acting on the element. What is that? It is shear stress multiplied by shearing area, not area of cross section. Shearing area is 2 pi r in terms of radius, 2 pi r into the length of the element, curved surface area. Okay, so tau into this one. This is the viscous resistance acting on it, that resists the flow, in fact. So it is opposite to the acting opposite to the flow direction. So the first two are the pressure forces. Okay. Okay. Now we are in a position to establish the equilibrium. Remember, even if it is flowing, the flow is taking place through a constant diameter pipe. So there is no question of acceleration. So consider the equilibrium of fluid element. Okay. In the x direction. X direction means flow direction. Flow direction is x. It is one dimensional flow. We are considering a horizontal pipe. Right. So therefore, what you can get is sigma fx. The algebraic sum of all the forces acting on the fluid element in the x direction is equated to, see, usually the Newton's law of motion is mass into acceleration. Remember, as I told you, this is not the accelerated motion of the fluid. There is no acceleration. Constant diameter pipe. So sigma fx equal to, since acceleration is 0, your sigma fx is 0. But it is not at rest. Okay, it's in motion, but with constant velocity. Constant velocity in the flow direction. In the flow direction for a fully developed flow. So we'll come to that later. The term fully developed flow. So whenever the flow enters a pipeline, actually the flow will not be fully established with a constant velocity profile across different cross sections. So if that velocity, when the velocity becomes constant in the axial direction, see, axial direction means along the axis. See, along the axis, when the flow velocity becomes constant, we say that the flow is fully developed. Okay, so we consider that the flow is fully developed, so that the axial flow velocity is constant. So any cross section, if you take, the velocity profile or velocity distribution will be identical. So we will consider such points later also. Okay, so sigma fx equal to 0 For a fully developed flow, there is no acceleration. That's why sigma fx equal to 0. So now we consider forces. In the left side, you have P into pi r squared, and the right side you have right side phase. The force is pressure force is always acting on the section. Okay, so that's why on the right side it is not in the positive x direction but on the section, so acting to the left. So that is P plus the incremented value. What is that? Dou P by dou x over the length dx. That is a pressure intensity, then multiplied by area. What is that? Pi r square. R is the area, r is the radius of the element, and the elemental length is dx, and we know that the shear stress all around, so shear stress acting will be tau into, what is that? 2 pi r dx. Okay, these are the three forces. So now you establish what is sigma fx. Simple thing. So P into pi r square, considering horizontally to the right, that direction is positive. The direction pointing horizontally to the right is positive. So P into pi r square, that is positive x direction. Then P plus the other one is negative actually. P plus dou P by dou x into dx. This much, let's say within bracket. Let's use a bracket over here, into area pi r square. Okay, and then one more force, the shear resistance all along the curved surface, all around the curved surface. So that is tau, shear stress tau multiplied by 2 pi r dx. Okay, and this is sigma fx. This is actually sigma fx. And now this has to be equated to what? This has to be equated to 0. Pi r square. Okay, then minus shear stress tau into 2 pi r dx. Okay, all these things left hand side sigma fx, and it is equated to 0. And p into pi r square and p into pi r square will be getting cancelled, and what remains is an expression for the shear stress now. So the first expression we require, we are going to get. So the first two terms will be cancelled, and then what remains is minus dou P by dou x into dx into pi r square. Pi r square is equal to, see, I take tau into those terms, that term I am going to take it out, take it to the right side. So tau into 2 pi r dx. Okay, so the variation of shear stress now we will get pi r, this pi r can be cancelled, and one radius will remain over here on this left side, dx and dx. See, this dx and dx also will be cancelled. So what remains is minus dou P by dou x. Let me put this in a bracket, and one radius remains. And on the other side you have shear stress and 2, in fact, right? 2 into shear stress. So you will get an expression now. This is what we require. So tau is equal to, you take this 2 to the other side, so you'll get minus dou P by dou x. See, dou P by dou x is the pressure gradient, change in pressure in the x direction in the flow. So change in pressure in the x direction, dou P by dou x, a negative sign is there in front of it, then into radius by 2. So what is the variation of shear stress? So you are getting, for the fluid element, since you are consider an arbitrary fluid element having the radius small r, now you can, for different radius, so what will be the shear stress you can get. See, this is say equation number 1 for us, very important one. The first milestone in the derivation is this one. So please understand, where dou P by dou x, as I told you, the pressure gradient. What is pressure gradient? Change in pressure with respect to the distance. Here the distance is, we are considering x direction. So dou P by dou x is the pressure gradient in the x direction. Pressure gradient in the x direction. Okay, and inherently this is negative in the x direction. So I will tell you that, because during the flow, due to the viscous resistance, there is pressure drop. Viscous flow viscous resistance കാരണം ഫ്ലോ മുമ്പോട്ട് പോകുന്തോറും പ്രഷർ കുറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. ആ ഒരു പ്രഷറിന്റെ അളവ് അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ ഒരു ടേം dou P by dou x ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So change in pressure with respect to x distance. X distance is now the axial direction. If the pipe is horizontal, like the one which we considered here, see this one. So x direction means the horizontal direction. Okay, so that's the idea. And now the variation of shear stress, if you want to plot, if you pressure gradient in the x direction, this is essentially negative. How do we know that? Due to viscous resistance, there will be pressure drop. So the pressure along the flow direction decreases, and that drop we have to assess actually. So what is the pressure head loss in viscous flow through circular pipes, that we have to consider towards the end. So as a preliminary step, we got the shear stress. So this tau is the shear stress at radius r. So you can say like that, at radius r. So shear stress at radius r, if you want, then this is the relation. So at any radius, so we have to plot. So variation, next question, very simple question for the examination. Plot the variation of shear stress across the section of a circular pipe through which viscous flow occurs. So if you take a cross section, dou P by dou X is a constant. Okay, pressure variation across a particular section will be constant. So therefore, so what you can consider is, say this is the pipe through which the viscous flow occurs. This is the flow direction, diameter capital D, radius capital R. We know all those details, and this is, let us say, the center line. And we are asked to plot the variation of shear stress across a section. See, so we are asked to plot, consider a section like this. Okay, a section, say XX. We are taking a sample section, and then the pressure, the shear stress variation, dou P by dou X is essentially a constant. So therefore, the relation, now let me write, minus tau is equal to minus dou P by dou X into R by 2. See, listen carefully. This dou P by dou X, it's itself, the term is negative. Dou P by dou X is negative. So one negative is there in front. So dou P by dou X by itself is negative, and minus sign, that will make the shear stress positive. Okay, so dou P by dou X, the term by itself, that is negative, then minus sign in front of that, that will make it make the shear stress positive. So this tau, since the dou P by dou X across a section is constant, so we can, what I can write is tau is proportional to the radius. So here, so tau is proportional to the radius, R by 2, basically 2 is again a constant. So tau is proportional to the radius. At the center, radius is equal to 0, and at the pipe wall, radius is equal to capital R, because this is capital R, which is the half of the diameter. So diameter. So at R is equal to 0, this 0. So from this relation, see this relation. So you consider this, at R is equal to 0, shear stress tau is also 0. And at R is equal to capital R, that is the wall of the pipe. R is, as capital R means wall, pipe wall of the pipe. So in numerical problems, we will be asked to calculate the shear stress at the wall of the pipe. Then we use this equation primarily. So at R is equal to R, then shear stress tau is equal to, what is that? Shear stress, the relation is, what is that? Minus dou P by dou X into that R, small r, that radius. Radius is now capital R. So capital R by 2. So this is it. And this is inherently, this one is tau max, the maximum shear stress in the pipe flow. That is at the wall of the pipe. So please do remember this aspect, and we require it. So tau max. So at the wall of the pipe, it is maximum. For the section considered, it is a linear variation. This variation is proportional to radius only. So it's a linear variation. So shear stress varies linearly with radius. That means what? At the center, it is 0, and towards the periphery, see on both sides in the sense in our 2D sketch. So it's something, so it's like this. And the shear stress attains, maximum value. So where does it attain maximum value? Maximum value at the pipe wall. At the center of the pipeline, at the center, it is 0. So please consider this. This is what we are plotting now, is the variation of shear stress at different radius. From the center, the shear stress increases, as we move towards the pipe wall. So it is like this. And both stress at the center tau is equal to 0. And at the top means what here? See this one here, tau is equal to tau max. So please do understand this fact. And here also this much is tau is equal to tau max. And what is the value of tau max? I repeat, tau max is equal to, for solving numerical problems, please do remember the shear stress maximum prevails at the wall of the pipe, and the value is equal to the pressure gradient dou P by dou X into capital R by 2. And I again, I want to tell you again, this dou P by dou X by itself is negative. There is a minus sign in front of that. That will make the shear stress positive. So this is the shear stress variation of shear stress across the section of the pipe. Okay, consider that the fluid is having a dynamic viscosity mu. So this is the variation of shear stress across the section of the pipe through which viscous flow occurs. Okay. So that completes the story of variation of shear stress across the pipe. Okay, we have Newton's law of viscosity. See, in order to bring the velocity, the picture of velocity into account, we use Newton's law of viscosity. Newton's law of viscosity. Shear stress acting on a layer of fluid, tau, is directly proportional to the rate of shear strain or velocity gradient normal to the flow direction. That is Newton's law of viscosity. Its expression is tau is equal to mu into du by dy, mu into du by dy, and du by dy is what? It's the velocity gradient normal to the flow direction, that is y direction. Whereas flow is in the x direction. Velocity gradient, we are taking normal to the flow direction. Normal to the flow direction. Okay, so du by dy. And this shear stress, now we have an expression. So here already we got here shear stress tau is equal to what? Minus, we got an expression minus dou P by dou X into radius by 2, variation of shear stress with the radius. So we got this is from 1. And now what we do is this Newton's law of viscosity, let me name it as equation number. So we will keep on adding the equations and all. See the maximum value of shear stress, that equation, that is also of great concern for us. So this we will write as equation number 2. The variation of shear stress with radius, we write 1, and this maximum value is at the pipe wall. Equation is 2. Okay. Then Newton's law of viscosity, let me write 3, and then equating expression 1 and 3, that is representing this one. This is actually earlier we named it as equation number 1. Okay, equation number 1. So equating from 1 and 3, from 1 and 3. So what you're going to get is tau is equal to minus dou P by dou X into R by 2, and tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So therefore, if you equate the two, so mu into du by dy, equating 1 and 3. Okay, so mu into du by dy, which is essentially tau, and that is equal to what now? That is equal to minus pressure gradient dou P by dou X into R by 2. Okay, so at a certain radius R, not at the pipe wall, that is a constant value. Of shear stress with radius R. Okay, so if you consider this part, there is velocity. So there is velocity du over there, and you can find out du from there. When you consider the pipe wall, see this, the fluid element we considered, somewhat like this. So just consider this one. Consider like this, and this is radius R. This is radius R, and y distance is taken from the wall of the pipe. So y is the distance is taken from the wall of the pipe. So like this. So I marked in both ways for your better understanding. And now you correlate this y. What is this y actually? Y is a capital R minus small r from your diagram. Then what will be dy? Dy will be, this capital R is a constant. Here the variables are y and r. So therefore dy is equal to 0 minus what? dr. So therefore what in terms of radius, dy is equal to minus dr. Dy is equal to minus dr. So mu into du by dy, du by dy is equal to minus dou p by dou x into r by 2. And our effort is to find out an expression for du, velocity now. So mu into, what do you get? Mu into du by dy. Dy is, now we got, what is that? Dy is minus dr, and that is equal to minus dou p by dou x. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ y eliminate ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞു into r by 2. So if you regularize this expression, what I want is an expression for du. So from this, ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് du ആണ് വേണ്ടത്. ഇപ്പൊ സൈഡ് അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും ഒക്കെ ഒന്ന് മാറ്റിയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് du-ന് ഒരു എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചാൽ എന്തായിരിക്കും കിട്ടുക എന്നുള്ളത്, അതാണ് നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടത്. So du is equal to this u and dr, you take it to the right hand side. The negative sign on both sides, so will be getting cancelled. So therefore what you get is 1 by 2 mu. 1 by 2 mu. So you take mu to the right hand side. 2 is already there on the right hand side, and in the right hand side you have the pressure gradient. What is that? Dou p by dou x into this r. So this is an expression, but not finished yet, because we have to find out what is u from this by integrating it. By integrating this one, see this expression, for time being you name it as equation number 4. And this equation you have to integrate and obtain the velocity. So we will integrate now. So integrate with respect to integrate with respect to r. So what do you get? Du. So integral du, that is u. Then integral of 1 by 2 mu and dou p by dou x. That is essentially for a cross section. At the section of the pipe, dou p by dou x is constant. Okay. Then into r. For a cross section, pressure gradient is constant, but not along the length. Along the length, that variation of pressure with x direction or in the x direction is indicated by that pressure gradient. Okay. So we'll integrate this one, and you will get a constant of integration also. So what do you get? The expression will be u is equal to, see, 1 by 2 mu, when you integrate with respect to 1 by 2 mu dou p by dou x, that is all, these are all constants, can taken out. Then integral r. So integral r is what? It is r square over 2, then plus the constant of integration. So constant of integration. Okay. So let me write C1. And from the boundary conditions, now we will try to find out the constant of integration. So we have to get the constant of integration now. Let me label it as equation number 5. Okay. So from the boundary conditions, so from the boundary conditions, what is that? Boundary condition means we know the velocity at the pipe wall due to no slip condition. See, at the wall of the pipe, velocity becomes 0 because of the no slip condition. So that we studied when we discussed about the viscosity also. So this at the solid boundary. So boundary conditions means, let me write over here, that is velocity at the pipe wall. Velocity at the pipe wall is equal to 0. And the reason is, what is the reason for that? No slip condition. No slip condition. And that arises because of the property known as viscosity. Okay. No slip condition. So therefore u is equal to, velocity u is equal to 0 at the pipe wall. At the pipe wall. Consider that u is the velocity in the x direction, because here the flow is one dimensional. At the pipe wall. See, at the pipe wall means the radius r is equal to capital R. So therefore substitute what? substitute u is equal to 0. Substitute u is equal to 0 at r is equal to r in equation number 5 is r squared divided by 2 plus the constant of integration c1. So from this you will be able to get the constant of integration. C1 is equal, when you take this to the other side, it will become what? Minus 1 by this 2 into 2, that becomes 4, 4. So what will be that? 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x, see this, dou p by dou x into r square. So this is the constant of integration. Constant. This constant you substitute in equation number 5 to get the original expression for velocity at any radius r. So what is that? Substitute c1 in equation 5 to get the actual expression. So what is that? U is equal to, constant has a negative sign. So 1 by 4 mu into dou p by dou x into capital R square. So the variation of velocity with the radius. Now what normally we do is we take the common ones, the common 1 by 4 mu and all you can take out common, 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x, this much is common, and then within the bracket what you get is r square minus capital R square. See, either we write like this, or we have one more possibility, that is taking negative outside, and we use like this also, minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x, because we know that capital R is greater than small r. So therefore, into, we reverse the terms in the bracket by keep taking a minus sign outside. So minus r square minus r square. See, this expression, this is the ultimate one we are searching for the velocity at any radius of the pipe across a section through which viscous flow occurs. So velocity, and incidentally, this is a second degree expression, quadratic expression, because u varies as the square of radius. So it is a quadratic expression, hence the variation is parabolic. Quadratic expression, hence the variation is parabolic. Okay. Please do remember this much when we pass on to the next topic. Okay. Variation is parabolic. Okay. Either of these two you can make use of. So u is equal to minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x into r square minus small r square. Velocity will not be negative. Dou p by dou x is negative. Then one minus sign in front of that, that will make it positive. Then small r, this is the velocity at a radius r. So this expression we use, this one, this expression we use for finding the fluid velocity or flow velocity at a radius r. So when you talk about various layers which are at different distances from the center, the velocity may not be same. For example, even if you make use of your common sense, you can tell when you consider a pipeline flow, the center layer, the fluid layers at the center will be having more velocity. So here, that's what is depicted over here. We have a pipeline symbolically represented, and the radius of this is capital letter R. Okay, because we are using variable radius as pipeline radius is capital R and diameter is capital D. Okay, and if you take a section, see, I've taken here a section X. I'll show you with the mouse, a section XX, and this is how the velocity profile look like. That means variation of velocity. Velocity engane maarunnadannu. Central layer maximum velocity. പക്ഷെ അത് എങ്ങനെയാ കിട്ടുന്നത്? നമുക്കത് കോമൺ സെൻസ് കൊണ്ട് പറഞ്ഞാൽ പോരാ. From this equation, see this equation, u is equal to minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x into r square minus r square. Different radii, that means you substitute the value of r. So what is the radius at the center? At the center, the radius is 0. So if you substitute small r is equal to 0, capital R is the radius of the pipeline, small r is the radius at which you want to find out the velocity that you have to substitute. So small r is equal to 0. If you substitute over here, this expression will have maximum velocity. So u is equal to, in that case, the maximum velocity will be what? When you consider this expression, see this one, I'll show you like this. So this is velocity at a radius is given by this expression. And when you substitute u is equal, see, substitute small r is equal to 0. That is at small r is equal to 0. So that means center line of the pipe. Okay, pipe center. So center of the pipe, the velocity of the fluid layer will be what? So u is equal to, just to substitute, minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x, that is a pressure gradient, then into r square minus small r square, is now it is 0. So what do you get? So the expression will be minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x into this capital R square. See, this is in fact, this u is the u max. So this u will be at r is equal to 0. This is a value of maximum velocity. So the maximum velocity u max is equal to, so here at the center, hereafter, please keep this idea in mind. At the center of the pipeline in which the viscous flow occurs, u max, maximum velocity prevails. And that maximum velocity value is minus 1 by 4 mu, where mu is the dynamic viscosity of the fluid. Then dou p by dou x is a pressure gradient, which is essentially negative value, then which is a constant across the section, then into the radius of the pipe square. Okay, so this is u max. So please understand, this is, so now we'll do one thing. This is our equation number 7. So we have a string of equations in this case. So pipeline the center line maximum velocity. What is at the wall of the pipe? That's already with a constant of integration u is equal to 0 at the pipe wall, where small r is equal to capital R. Parabolic profile is this one. That means the velocity. So when you approach the pipe wall, velocity becomes 0. From at the center, it is maximum. That velocity we got now minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x into r square, and at the wall it is 0. So please do remember this velocity distribution, which is parabolic. And the shear stress profile, we have this one, linear. So shear stress profile is linear and proportional to a radius there, but here velocity is proportional to radius square. But remember, at the center, the velocity is maximum. At the pipe wall, due to no slip condition, being a stationary solid boundary, the velocity is 0. So the next is, what is the average velocity? So we have to get, in order to answer some of the questions, we require the average velocity of flow, because from the, even if you consider a section, the velocity at different radii are different. So what will be the average in this case? If you want, for your calculations purpose, you want one velocity at for a section, then we use average velocity of flow. So usually when you talk about discharge, Q is equal to A1, V1 and all for incompressible flow, then that velocity is average velocity. So Q is equal to area into velocity. The discharge is in meter cube per second, and your U bar is in average velocity meter per second, and your area is in meter square. Okay, right. So U bar is equal to Q divided by area, and Q divided by, see, the area of the pipe, it's a circular one. So it is pi into capital R square or pi by 4 d square, capital D. So here I want to write in terms of radius, let's say Q by pi R square, otherwise it's pi by 4 d square. Okay, so this is the expression for the average velocity. And we have to get an expression for discharge and substitute over here in order to get average velocity of flow through the pipe. Okay, so we will start that one now. This is the cross section of the pipe, and in which the radius is capital R. Okay, and so now we will consider fluid element at the center. In the cross section, you will show, you will be able to see like this only. Okay, so this is the element, and the radius of this one is, see, the radius, this radius is R. So this radius is r. And now we will consider a layer of fluid at radius r. We know the velocity. Now we will consider a ring, circular ring shaped element. See this one. Our original fluid element is flowing through this this annular ring. So that is our consideration. See like this we are considering. And inside radius is smaller and the thickness is this. So when you consider this is r and this thickness is dr. So what will be the area? The area of such annular ring. So normally we take outside area minus inside area. So where the outside circle has a radius equal to r plus dr, inside is small r. And then so if you take pi into r plus dr whole square minus pi into small r square. But an approximation that will give you the area of this annular ring. Area of this annular ring, you know, so that will be equal to, so pi into this one. So when you open this one and then neglect very small terms like dr square, dr is very small, so dr square will be even smaller. So if you consider like that, then the area will be approximately, you will get like this 2 pi r dr. So for an area, for engineering approximations, whenever you have very small annular ring where the radial thickness dr is very small, then you can make use of this. So it's approximately 2 pi r dr area. Okay. And the velocity at the radius that we know. So please try to understand this carefully. So area of the annular ring we are talking about, and the velocity at small r, at radius r, so that we know. So velocity at r, that is given by u is equal to, what is that expression we got? Already we derived that, minus 1 by 4 mu. The general expression. This is the expression, dou p by dou x into the second bracket we have capital R square minus small r square. The generalized expression for velocity in the case of viscous flow through pipe at a radius small r is given by this one. Okay. And velocity is this at radius r, and the area of the ring is this one, 2 pi r dr. So discharge through the so element. This is the area of ring. Okay. Don't get confused. It's not circle. Discharge through the annular ring. Ring. So this will be. So we'll write it is as dq. It's a smaller discharge, not through the entire pipe. So ഒരു ചെറിയ annular ring എടുത്തിട്ട് അതിലൂടെയുള്ള discharge കണ്ടുപിടിക്കും, എന്നിട്ട് complete cross section ആ full circle-ലൂടെ ഉള്ളത് അത് നമ്മൾ എടുക്കും. അങ്ങനെയാണ് എടുക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. So velocity multiplied by area of the ring now. U into this is area of the ring. dq is equal to, velocity is minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x into capital R square minus small r square. See, this is the velocity. ഇത്രയാണ് നമ്മുടെ velocity u. u എവിടെയുള്ളതാണ്? At radius r. Okay. Then multiplied by area of the annular ring. So what is the area of the annular ring? The approximated one is 2 pi r dr. Okay. Minus pi you can write in front. Then pi by 2 mu. Okay. Into, please listen to me carefully, dou p by dou x, then into r square minus small r square into, outside the bracket you simply have r dr. So this is the expression for dq, equation number 8. Okay. So dq, and now what we do is from this dq we will find out the discharge through the entire cross section. This is through the ring. So this is the discharge through an annular ring. Now the discharge through the entire cross section. Discharge through the complete circular cross section. The entire cross section. So what do we do? From the small ring, you have to arrive at the discharge through the complete cross section, circular cross section. So that q is equal to integral of this one, integral of dq. But remember, integral of dq means the inside for the annular ring, the inside radius is small r, and that overall radius of the circle is capital R. So the limit of integration, the radius varies from 0 at the center to maximum at the pipe wall. So therefore, so what you're going to do is Q is equal to from radius, from for the entire cross section. So we will consider, so dq, that is from 0 to the radius 0 to capital R. So radius is the varying parameter. So Q is equal to integral dq. What is that? Dq is written above. So please make use of that. So 0 to capital R. It's only elementary integration. So pi by 2 mu. And there is a minus sign. Just I want to put in front. That essentially means dou p by dou x is negative. Okay. So the discharge you will not get negative. Then into r square minus small r square into what is that? R dr. So this is it. It's not an indefinite integral because you are integrating over the limit 0 to capital R. Radius varies. See this one. This is the expression for dq, and I'm going to integrate it over this one. But it's not a complicated one because here you are integrating with respect to R only, small r only. Small r is the only variable. So the others, the constants you can take outside the integral. So it will be minus pi by 2 mu into what? Into dou p by dou x. This much you can take outside, this much, and then inside the bracket, inside the integral 0 to r. So what remains is r square, capital R squared minus small r square into outside it is r dr. See, please listen to me carefully. So minus, so this will give you minus pi by 2 mu into dou p by dou x. Okay, then into r square minus r square into r dr. So we'll take the integral now. So integral, how do we just operate it? Just open the bracket. It will become r square r dr and two terms, r square r dr, and the other one is r cube dr. Okay, so this is it. So this expression, when you expand it like this, so there are two terms now. So integrate it separately now over the limits. So I'll put a bracket and then r square r dr, r square, capital R square. So capital R square. Then small r, r dr integral is what? R square by 2, r square by 2. Now that is over the limit 0 to capital R. That is one term. And what is the second term? Second term in this r cube dr. So that will be minus, what is that? R cube dr. That will be r raised to 4 by 4. So integral of x raised to n is x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1. Okay. So r raised to 4 over the limit 0 to r. So this is it. So when you integrate this, and now we have integrated already, but now apply the limits. Apply the limits. You don't have to bother about 0 now because that is there. But combine the terms now. Simplify it further. That's all. So pi minus pi by 2 mu dou p by dou x into what is this? When you apply the upper limit, don't bother about the lower limit. That is since it is 0. So what you are going to get is r squared, capital R square. When you substitute the upper limit r square, this will become r square by 2, and the other lower limit part is 0. Then the second is capital R raised to 4 by 4. So this is it. Okay, so this is what you get. And now further simplification, what do you get? So minus, see, please take LCM and all this one. This part, when you do it, it will become r square, r raised to 4 by 2 minus r raised to 4. You take LCM. LCM means you are multiplying both sides by 2. So what you get is 2r raised to 4 minus r raised to 4 divided by 4. So in short, what you get? So r raised to 4 by 4. Okay. So when you operate the bracket, this is the result. R raised to capital R raised to 4 by 4. So the discharge, it cannot be a variable through the circular cross section. So through the circular cross section, the discharge through the pipe through which this viscous flow occurs is given by minus pi by 2 mu into what is that? Del p del x, then into r raised to 4 by 4. And again, you can simplify it. Further, it can be written as final expression Q is equal to minus pi by 8 mu because that 4 and 2 in the denominator. So minus pi by 8 mu into dou p by dou x pressure gradient, then into r raised to 4, capital R raised to 4. Okay. So this is a discharge expression we were searching for. Average velocity of flow through this viscous through this case through the pipe. So U bar, how do we find out? So Q divided by area. So U bar is equal to Q divided by area. Q divided by what is area? Pi into radius square. Radius is capital R. Okay, small r is a variable radius, but this is a circular pipe radius minus pi by 8 mu. Pi by 8 mu del P del X into R raised to 4. This is the discharge divided by pi into capital R square. So pi and pi will be cancelled. On simplification, what do you get? Minus, it will become 1 by 8 mu. Pressure gradient dou P by dou X into R raised to 4 divided by R square. So capital R square will remain. See, average velocity. It's a constant value. Okay. So minus 1 by 8 mu. Don't bother about negative sign. I repeat, dou P by dou X is essentially negative. So in order to make the velocity positive, so you have a minus sign in front of it. Okay. So in numerical calculation, that will not trouble you. But you should remember the fact that dou P by dou X is negative. So this is U bar. So this expression is also very important for us. This is say equation number 9. Okay, U bar. And already we got, see, already we know at the pipe center, where radius is pipe center means what? Radius is 0. Small r is equal to 0 and velocity u is equal to u max. നമുക്ക് already അറിയാവുന്നതാണ്, parabolic variation ഒക്കെ പറഞ്ഞു. ആ u max നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചു. U max എത്രയാണെന്ന് കിട്ടിയെന്ന് ഓർക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? So that is, see, that U max, the velocity maximum, see it's here, minus 1 by 4 mu dou P by dou X into R square. It is 4 mu. But here in the average velocity expression, denominator is 8 mu. So that is only difference. So U max, so this is minus 1 by 4 mu into dou P by dou X into R square. Okay, see, we have this expression. And now in certain examinations, we will be asked to prove that this U max by U bar for a viscous flow case in circular pipes, this U max by U bar is equal to 2. Okay, so to prove some other question, in some cases, in viscous flow through pipe, to prove in viscous flow through circular pipes, this maximum velocity is twice the average velocity, or U max divided by U bar, maximum velocity by average velocity, is equal to 2. So for viscous flow applications, maximum velocity that prevails at the center of the pipe for any cross section divided by the average velocity of flow through that circular cross section is equal to 2. Simply take U max by U bar, that's all. Even by looking at the expression, you can give the answer. So what is that expression? U max is equal to minus 1 by 4 mu. This expression is actually equation number 7. We denoted this expression as equation number 7. Okay, so minus 1 by 4 mu dou P by dou X into capital R square, then divided by, now the average velocity we got just obtained now by equation number 9. See this one, U bar. So this is U bar. So U bar is equal to minus 1 by 8 mu. So U bar is equal to minus 1 by 8 mu into dou P by dou X into R square. So what do you get? So you take the reciprocal and multiply this minus 1 by 4. See, the rest of the terms are common, and it's only 1 by 4 and 1 by 8 in the denominator. So the answer will be then, so you'll get 2. Okay, it's a very important expression for you. And our ultimate objective is to get the pressure loss or pressure head loss in a pipeline over a certain length through which viscous flow occurs. So നമ്മൾ പൈപ്പിലൂടെ ഓയിൽ ഒക്കെ പമ്പ് ചെയ്യുമ്പം ഇത്ര ലെങ്ത് ഒരു 2 കിലോമീറ്റേഴ്സ് പൈപ്പിലൂടെ ഓയിലൊക്കെ ഡ്രൈവ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ പ്രഷറൈസ് ചെയ്ത് കൊണ്ടുപോകണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ then what is the head loss or the power required? Pressure head loss എന്തുമാത്രം ഉണ്ടാകും, പിന്നെ അതുപോലെ അതിനനുസരിച്ച് എത്ര പമ്പിംഗ് പവർ വേണ്ടി വരും എന്നുള്ളത് പ്രാക്ടിക്കൽ റെലവൻസ് ഉള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആണ്. സോ ഇൻ സച്ച് കേസസ് ഓക്കെ. അപ്പോൾ അതിനുവേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ എന്താ ചെയ്യുന്നത് നോക്കാം. അതിനുള്ള ഒരു ബേസിക് ഇക്വേഷൻ നമുക്ക് ഇനിയുള്ളത്, and before we conclude this lecture ഞാൻ അത് കൂടെ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. And that is called Hagen, very important expression in fluid mechanics, Hagen-Poiseuille's equation. The name of the two researchers, two scientists, Hagen and Poiseuille. So Hagen-Poiseuille's equation, and this is applicable for, this is for, for viscous flow through pipes. So derive Hagen-Poiseuille's equation. It basically gives the pressure head loss in the case of viscous flow through pipes. Okay. So what we, from where we start? Okay. So I will start from the average velocity. So we know that, please understand carefully. So we know that the average velocity of flow is 1/8 mu. Okay, this is what we derived, dou p by dou x into capital R square. So this is the expression. നമ്മുടെ നേരത്തെ equation number 9 ആയിരുന്നു. Okay, so u, and from this you try to get that pressure gradient. ഇപ്പൊ ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ സൈഡ് ട്രാൻസ്പോസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് dou p by dou x ഒഴികെ ബാക്കിയെല്ലാം dou p by dou x ലെഫ്റ്റ് സൈഡിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ എഴുതാം, അതൊഴികെ ബാക്കിയെല്ലാം സൈഡ് മാറ്റുകയാണെങ്കിൽ so what you will get, u bar 8 mu ന്യൂമറേറ്ററിലേക്ക് വരും, then into u bar, then of course negative sign ഉണ്ട്, so minus 8 u bar divided by denominatorൽ നമുക്ക് r squared വരും. Okay, so this is the expression dou p by dou x. Now see here we have still now we have used partial derivative of pressure with respect to x. Now I am going to change this into absolute derivative. The reason is now, so it is one dimensional flow. So p is the variation of p is not there in the y direction. So p is a function of x. So since p is a function of x only, so I can change this dou p by dou x into, I can write this as dp by dx. Okay, so let me convert the partial derivative into the absolute derivative. So it will become dp by dx, variation of pressure with respect to distance pipe, or equal to minus 8 mu into u bar. U bar is average velocity, mu is the dynamic viscosity divided by radius of the pipe square. This is the expression. Now the situation is very simple. See, what we want to do is I want to get the pressure difference, dp വേണം. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് എനിക്ക് എഴുതാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്, so this gives what, dp by, so ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് എനിക്ക് dp I can write like this, dp is minus 8 mu u bar divided by r square, this into dx. So I can say write like this. Okay, and now the pressure. So if you integrate it for a certain length, see, our idea is this one. See, before integration, let me draw a small schematic of the pipe through which the viscous flow occurs. We consider now certain length. So far we were considering the at the section of the pipe only. Now we are considering certain length, and we try to find out the pressure drop. See, due to the viscous resistance, the pressure will decrease, as I told you already. See, the pressure acting on the section 1 is pressure acting on the section 1 here. This is P1, and the pressure at the other section is P2, and the other dynamic viscosity is mu viscous flow of a fluid. Okay, so this is the case. And now you consider the schematic, and then I want to integrate this expression. See what we obtained. Now dP is, see the pressure variation. The pressure variation dP is equal to this one. See this one. So let me integrate that one. Integrate that dP is equal. It's very simple and straightforward only, because dP is equal to. So we'll integrate it dP, integral dP, that is integral minus 8 mu u bar divided by r square, then into dx. So when you consider this one for x and the coordinate system, so coordinate system, see I want to devise a coordinate system now, see, so that this distance is x1 from the reference, say your origin. Okay, the center line, see the center line, see I didn't mark the center line. See you have, this is the x direction and this one is y direction. Okay, so this is x1 and this much, see this much, this is your x2. Okay, so x1, say I devised a coordinate system, section 1 coordinate x coordinate x1, y, I mean y at section 2 x coordinate is x2. So integral, what is that? The pressure between the two sections. So between 1 and 2 you are trying to integrate. So integral p1 to p2 here, and here it is from x1 to x2. So please try to understand. Now what is integral dP? Only p itself. So it's p only. So over the limit, what? P1 to P2 is equal to, on the other side, minus 8 mu u bar and all. These are all constants. These are all constants. Then integral dx is, what is it? X itself. And now over the limit, x1 to x2. x1 to x2. So what do you get? What do you get? Here it is left hand side, you'll get P2 minus P1. Upper limit minus lower limit, that is equal to, on the right hand side it is minus 8 mu u bar divided by r square into this, into, so within bracket x2, when you apply the limits, higher limit minus lower limit, x2 minus x1. So what is x2 minus x1 from the figure? From the figure, x2 minus x1 is the distance between the two sections. See this L. So x2 minus x1 is the length of the pipe under consideration. So this is it. x2 minus x1 is length L of the pipe under consideration. So what do you get? The final expression now. So we are approaching the answer now. So just 1 minute more. So P2 minus P1, that is the pressure difference, is equal to minus 8 mu u bar divided by radius square into x2 minus x1 is L. See this? Okay. So this is what you get now into this L. And now many times we try to write down this expression in this form, because we know that P1 will be greater than P2. So in the flow direction, the pressure will decrease. So pressure flow direction decreases, negative pressure gradient. So pressure decreases in the flow direction. That's why pressure loss is there due to viscous resistance. So we are trying to find out that. So the pressure decreases in the flow direction. So therefore, P1 is greater than P2. So if I want to write this one, reverse the order, multiply both sides by minus 1. So you get P1 minus P2 is equal to what? 8 mu u bar, then L divided by R square. It's a very important equation, one form of Hagen-Poiseuille's equation, the pressure intensity difference. So at section 1 pressure P1, at section 2 after a length L of the pipe it is P2, then P1 minus P2 is given by this, but this in terms of radius. And this expression will become what? P1 minus P2, the pressure intensity difference. So this will be equal to 8. See, instead of this R, so instead of R we substitute R is equal to D by 2. So that expression will become D square by 4. D square by 4, and that 4 will go to the numerator. So the expression will become 32 mu u bar L divided by diameter square. See, this is again for the pressure difference. Now for the pressure head loss, pressure head. So changing this into pressure drop or pressure, changing this into pressure head loss. So how do you do that? Dividing both sides by rho g, that's all. So divide both sides. So this is equation number 11 and divide equation number 11. So normally what you write is HL, head loss. So head loss or head drop, that is equal to P1 minus P2 that divided by rho g. So right hand side also you will divide by rho g. So what it will become? 32 mu u bar average velocity into length of the pipe divided by, now one rho g will be there in the denominator, rho g d square, see diameter square. See, this is the famous Hagen-Poiseuille's equation. So this is equation number 12. So equation number 12 is Hagen-Poiseuille's equation. Okay. So the final one, equation number 12, is that represents Hagen-Poiseuille's equation applicable for finding, pressure head loss in circular pipes through which a viscous fluid flows. Okay, so whatever be the viscous resistance or the pressure head loss that is incurring in the flow, that can be found out by Hagen-Poiseuille's equation. Please do remember, it's a very important equation in fluid mechanics, entire fluid mechanics. Whenever you consider viscous flow through pipe, for example, like lubricating oil is flowing through the pipelines, very, very long pipelines, and all we use it. And the next time when we meet, we will try to solve the numerical problems by making use of these equations applicable for viscous flow. Okay, thank you so much.